Hello everyone, this is Debbie Henderson from Debbie's Designs. Welcome to my afternoon tea time and a card. Just a little announcement. We have very high winds here and I can see that my video seems to be going in and out. Can you guys see me okay? And hear me okay? I shouldn't say see me, hear me. Because twice I saw it go out and quickly come back in. So I'm hoping everything's going to be okay. So just give me a thumbs up if everything's good on your end. I can see all of you coming on. Okay, fine here, says Lisa. So just know that if you see it go in and out, that's because of the high winds. So welcome to my afternoon tea time and a card. So I did a little poll today and you guys picked technique. You wanted to see the technique. So I'll do the other project on my business page on Friday. Now I have a cute little story to tell you, which to me is not funny, but maybe to you guys it will be. I am supposed to be using the Nature's Harvest stamp set for my project. And I put these two images on my Stamparatus on top of the clear plate, and I went to get ready to set up for my video and I cannot find the two stamps. So I only had like 5 minutes, so I quickly had to find another flower stamp. So I'm going to use the Prized Peony. I'm going to use this big one right here. And I don't even know where my stamps are. There was two sitting on top of my Stamparatus. They were sitting right here, just like this, loose, because I didn't do anything. I have no idea where they are. So anyway, the card's going to be the same, but with a different image. Now make sure that you stay until the end, because I'll have a drawing for the two cards I'm making with you. And then at the end, I'll also have a drawing for a sampler of the Whimsy and Wonder designer paper, some 6x6 sheets, along with 3 Stampin' Up pens. That's going to be a package. And I'll tell you how you can win. Okay, so the technique I am doing today. Well, you guys, you know, my screen is frozen. I can't even see any movement. So I'm hoping everything is good. Okay, so the card I'm making is this one. This is called the triple negative because we have 3 pieces of cardstock and the one image is stamped on all 3. I used polished pink on this one. I'm going to make 2 fresh freesia on this one and then soft succulent on this one. So it's all going to be the same card with a different image, of course. So let me go ahead and bring out all of my little strips. That's going to be the first part of it. And then I'll tell you what I need for the other layers after that. I can't, my screen is frozen. I hope you guys can see me. Okay, so what I've done is I've cut 2 strips of the colored. This is 1 inch by 5 inches, I believe. Yes, 1 by 5. Fresh freesia on this card, soft succulent on this card. The middle section is basic white, 5 inches by 1 3/4, so 2 of those. And then I have a white that I'm using to layer all 3 of these pieces on. And this measures, it's just a little shorter than 5, so 4 7/8 by 3 and 3 5/8. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Okay, you guys can see me. Good. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and glue all of these 3 pieces. I'm just going to put this right in the center. It doesn't have to be perfect. I noticed there's a bump on my paper, so I'm going to flatten that out. And then I'm going to add the colored pieces on each side. So I am using the Stamparatus tonight for the technique. Now you have to make sure that this is nice and flat. You don't want anything overlapping. I just need to trim just a tiny bit on this one. Okay, so there's my first one. I'm gonna do them both at the same time because I have to use the heat tool. Because this is silver embossing powder. Isn't that pretty? Look how shiny that is. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and set up. So you guys, I can't see you commenting for some reason. I really think it's the weather, and I just hope that I don't go down while I'm filming this. See, it keeps telling me live video interrupted. The broadcast has been paused. It should resume shortly. Okay, now this is the soft succulent. I'm gonna have to trim this one a little bit also. Yeah, so I have no idea where my stamps are. Isn't that awful? Okay, look how pretty this is already. Now let me move this one over. So I am using the Versamark ink. I have an old dryer sheet that I'm actually going to use right now just to rub over to get the static off. I have the silver embossing powder. I'm using foam adhesive sheets. And I'm also using the in color, what are they called? I can't read through the case. In color jewels, and I have little bits and pieces here from a share that I did, so that's why you'll see me bring out just the individual colors like this. I'm just trying to use those up. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in the Stamparatus. I'm going to put that way in the corner. I'm going to put my magnet down to hold that. Now what I want to do is make sure that this flower is going to be stamped on all three colors. So I'm going to put that right there. Pick it up. I'm going to use the Versamark ink. Now when I use Versamark like this, I usually do it twice just to make sure I get it really good. So I'm going to do it a second time. Go ahead and put the embossing powder on this one before I do the other one. So I'll have to report back to you guys what happened to my stamps when I find them. I have no idea. Now I always keep a little paintbrush handy. I have some loose powder here, and I always use my little paintbrush to take them off. Let's see, I got a little bit right here. Okay, this one's all set. Oops, I didn't show it to you. So this is what it looks like on the 3 panels. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this one. My flower is already where I want it. That's what the beauty of the Stamparatus. Once you set it up for one card, it's like production style. You just go for it. Okay, there's number 1. I hope my video is going to record okay. Okay, there's the second one. So let me get this out of the way. So you guys are going to have to come back on Friday on my business page to see the Christmas project that I had you guys vote on. You opted to go with the technique. Okay, this one came out pretty good. So now I'm going to make a little bit of noise with the heat tool. Just making sure it's warmed up. And you're going to see how quickly this changes. Let's see if I can bring it up a little bit. Look how shiny it's getting when it's turning. I call it turning. When it's melting, it just runs. Now the tip to using the heat tool is not to stay in the same area for very long. You don't want to burn your paper. Can you guys see that? Look how quickly that's melting. And then I just hold it up to the light to make sure I got it all. Now I'll do this one. This one's going to be quick because I already warmed up my tool. I know there are a few of you guys that said you have a hard time with embossing. The trick is just to keep your gun moving. You don't want to burn your paper. You don't want to burn your powder. I'm almost done. Okay, I just have the rest of the big flower and I'll be done. Okay, so there's the triple negative because you're embossing on 3 different strips of paper. Now, because the heat tool kind of warps the paper a little bit, okay, wait a minute. I need to put the cover on my embossing powder. It's a very dangerous tool when you leave it open. Now, let me bring in the rest of what I need. I've already embossed the sentiment that you see here. So I did the silver embossing. And then I have the jewels for each one. And the card base is thick basic white, 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. So I'm going to fold both of those down. So we're going to pretty much have the same card, but in 3 colors. And of course I have the stamped images are missing. Now this is my foam adhesive sheets. This is what I like to use when your paper warps like this. I use this a lot with this technique and then also with watercolor paper. Because you know how watercolor paper, when it gets wet, it sometimes warps. This is like a big stamping dimensional, so you know I'm going to love this, right? And it's going to actually flatten this out if I cut it right. Okay. So there's my big stamping dimensional. I'm going to do that one more time. I should say jumbo stamping dimensional. And then you just peel the other side. And I'm going to stand up so I can see what I'm doing. Oh, I forgot my ribbon. Let me see if I can sneak that in. I think I can. Yes. I forgot to put my ribbon. I gotta put that on first. I gotta lift this up just a little more. Do you guys ever do that? You get ready to stick everything and then you forget a step. Okay, let me see if I can get this on there. I'm hoping I don't have to peel the whole thing. The only bad part is sometimes when I don't like my bow, hold on, it's not long enough. Sometimes when I don't like my bow, I like to position it. So you know what, I'm just gonna push this down to hold the ribbon. I did it. Now I'm gonna create the bow. I had not pressed down on the foam adhesive sheet, so I was able to pull it up a little bit. Okay, there's my bow. Whoop, that one flopped over. Now let's get my scissors. So there's that one. Let me do the bow on this one before I glue it down. Oops, I need to go this way. Okay, so this is a soft succulent. This is the open weave ribbon. I just love it. It's so soft and it's so easy to work with. It makes really pretty bows, as you can see. Okay, there's bow number 2. I gotta turn this the other way. There we go. Okay, now I can glue this one down. I'm going to put my ribbon where it needs to go because it's going to stick to the back of that. I'm all fingers tonight. Oh my goodness. Okay, I got it where it needs to go. Let's leave it alone. Now this is gonna go right in the center. So there's 2 cards. Now all we have left to do is to add the sentiment. That's gonna go below the ribbon. My ribbon is not cooperating. Okay, there's that one. Can you believe I'm gluing this down flat? Here's number 2. Whoops, I didn't have that in the middle. And the last part, I've got this bling. Now, where did my other bling? There's my other bling. So I'm gonna put a big one. Let's see, these I gotta put a little different because the flowers are different. I'm gonna put one on this. I'm gonna put one on each strip. Okay, there's the fresh freesia card. Now we're gonna do the soft succulent. I'm just trying to move everything over here. Isn't that pretty? Very simple to make. Very easy technique. Just remember to tie your ribbon before you glue the embossed layer on. So there's all 3 cards. And I will report back to where I find my stamps when I do find. I tore this room apart and I have no idea what I did with them. Okay, so for the first drawing, you're going to win 2 cards. The second drawing, you're going to win the designer paper and a set of Stampin' Up! Pens. I have my 2 numbers written down on a sticky. And let's see, what are we going to use for a word? We're going to use the word ribbon tonight. So comment with the word ribbon starting now. And I'm going to count down and I'll let you know who wins as we go. So ready? Okay, that's it for tonight, everyone. And there's my numbers. It was 12 and 22. And I will be back live on Friday night at 7 p.m. on my Debbie's Designs business page. I'll let you guys, I'll put a reminder so you'll know where to go find me. Thanks for joining me tonight, everyone, and I will see you again soon. Have a good night.